Wind 300 at 16, runway 31 left, clear for land.
March 10, 2019. A brand new Boeing 737 MAX 8 fell out of the sky and killed 157 innocent people. The European investigation team released the preliminary report, and we are going to talk about those last 6 minutes of the flight ET-302. All the time mentioned here is in UTC. At 5:37:34 seconds, ATC of Addis Ababa gave the takeoff clearance. At 5:38, the aircraft took off from the runway 7 right, and the takeoff roll appeared normal. At 5:30:44 seconds, the aircraft was on the initial climb. Suddenly the angle of attack sensors called AOA, which are in the both sides of the aircraft, started to malfunction. The left AOA decreased to 11.1 degrees, and then increased to 35.7 degrees. At the same time, the right AOA indicated 14.94 degrees, but suddenly in 3/4 seconds, the left AOA value reached 74.5 degrees, while the right AOA was at 15.3 degrees. At 5:39:06 seconds, the captain told the first officer to contact the radar controller. At 5:39:22 seconds, the aircraft was at an altitude of 1,000 feet. At that time the left autopilot was engaged. At 5:39:15 seconds, the aircraft selected heading was 72 degrees, but it changed to 197 degrees. At that time, the captain felt that there's something wrong, so he asked the first officer to request to maintain runway heading. At 5:39:55 seconds, the autopilot was disengaged. At 5:39:57 seconds, the captain advised again the first officer to request to maintain runway heading, and to advise the controller about the flight controls problem. At 5:40 the AOA sensors sent the information to the plane's computer that the aircraft is going to stall. The anti-stalling system pushes the nose down for 9 seconds, and the aircraft descended slightly. At 5:43 seconds, the aircraft lost the altitude, and the ground proximity warning system start alerting. At 5:45 seconds, the first officer requested runway heading to the ATC. From 5:40:23 seconds to 5:40:31 seconds, the ground proximity warning system alerted the crew 3 times of the aircraft altitude lost. At 5:40:27 seconds, the captain was in control, so he asked the first officer to trim up the aircraft with him. At 5:40:44 seconds, the aircraft was diving, so the captain called, "Pull up" for 3 times, and the first officer acknowledged. At 5:40:50 seconds, the crew were having problems with the flight control, and the captain asked the first officer to advise ATC that they would like to maintain 40,000 feet. The captain also asked the first officer to inform about the flight control problem. At 5:40:56 seconds, the request was approved by the ATC. At 5:40:42 seconds, the left airspeed indicator increased from 305 knots to 340 knots. At the same time, the right airspeed indicator was 20 to 25 knots higher than the left one. At 5:41:20 seconds, the right overspeed clacker was recorded in the CVR. It was remained active until the end of the recording. At 5:41:30 seconds, the captain requested the first officer to pitch up with him, and the first officer acknowledged. At 5:41:32 seconds, the left overspeed warning activated. At 5:41:46 seconds, the captain asked the first officer if the trim is functional, and the first officer confirmed that the trim function was not working, and asked if he could try it manually. At 5:42:10 seconds, the first officer asked the radar controller for vectors to return, and it was approved. At 5:42:30 seconds, ATC instructed Ethiopian to turn right heading 260 degrees. At 5:42:43 seconds, the selected heading was changed to 262 degrees. At 5:42:54 seconds, both pilots called out left alpha vane. The meaning of alpha vane is angle of attack. At 5:43:04 seconds, the captain asked the first officer to pitch up together, but it didn't work. At 5:43:20 seconds, the aircraft began pitching nose down, and the pilots tried to pull up, but the nose down pitch continues, which was around 40 degrees nose down. The left indicated airspeed increased to approximately 458 knots, and the right indicated airspeed raised to 500 knots. The last recorded altitude was 5,419 feet on the left, and 8,399 feet on the right. The complete investigation report takes 1 year to finish, and it seems that there was a problem with angle of attack sensors. The same problem happened to Lion Air in 2018.